Oh, hey, how you guys doing? This is Sensei Roger, and you're watching The Grind Spectre. And yes, I'm playing with some nunchakus today. I'm not an expert at it, so I'm just going to demonstrate a form that I put together and just kind of a little freestyle. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Messing around with martial art weapons or even doing any of the martial arts could be dangerous. You can hurt yourself. So if you see me crack myself, I told you I was an expert, but I'm not going to complain about it. I'm just going to move on and keep doing the video. So look forward to me cracking myself with this, guys. I'm okay with it, but I'm not an expert, like I said. What I do is the Kempo karate. These were just something that we didn't learn in Kempo, I just played around with. So here's a form I put together. I just put that together to have fun with it. So I'm going to just do a little freestyle, guys. Here's something I started playing around with when I first picked these up when I was a teenager, before I even did martial arts. I picked these up a couple of years before. So I started doing this. I come around like that. So I spin around and then I would do all that stuff like that, but I would come in here and I always had the vision of doing that. But that wasn't happening for the longest time. But then I started getting, oh yeah. Then I was like, oh, it was only right hand. But then I tried it in my left. I didn't get discouraged. See, that was a little sloppier on that left, isn't it? That's one of the reasons why I put that form together. So I'm doing things off both sides. I'm not doing one-sided only. So I can start doing the spins here. I can even come around here. So I started doing that because I didn't want to be one-sided. So just some of the stuff I play around with. Now we do stuff like this. And that was just some freestyle stuff. And plus I got bored with doing freestyle. So let me know what you guys think. And you know what? I want you guys to share with me a video of you doing these that are really good. I know this guy's much better than I am at these. I like to see that. So you got a video you want to share it too, share it with me. You know, link it to me or anything like that. I'd be happy to see it. Or even put in the comment a link to that video. That's what I'm saying. And then we can check it out and other people can check it out. I'm going to open that door for you guys to promote your video of doing this too. So I think that would be amazing. I'd like to see that. And I have cracked my head with these many times. I've hurt my knuckles, knee, elbows. There's one thing I did start doing. Instead of just tossing under my arm here, I'm not tossing under my armpit. I'm going over my bicep. And then once I started doing that, I started having a little more control. Instead of having my elbow in, I just pointed it out. If you guys have any other pointers too that would help me get better and anybody else watching this, like I said, put your link to that video. I also wanted to add this here. At my school here, we're doing a thing we call it the 12 principles. I call it 12 bedrock principles. Basically, I'm writing a book on those principles. That book is going to be called 12 Principles to Greater Influence. And here's principle number 1. Don't be a complainer. We can complain about many things, can't we? But what happens when we can have a complaint, but what makes us a complainer is when we won't shut up about it, right? We keep talking about it, we'll crying about it, and no one wants to hear that at some point. Are they going to help you? I know sometimes the guy, say the wheel that squeaks the loudest sometimes gets oiled and gets greased, as old saying we'd say. But how long is that going to last? You squeak so many times, You know, say at a job. What happens when you complain and you squeaking too many times? All of a sudden you find out you don't have that job no more. Who has the job? Those that are just doing their job and not complaining. That job may, you know, have so much for you to complain about. Well, what are you going to do about it to make that different? Become a problem solver, not a complainer. Here's a biblical scripture on this I thought was pretty awesome. It's Philippians 2:13-15. All right, they're talking about Christians here. So it's Christian alert right here on this. But the reason for it, you'll know when I start reading it, why they're talking about Christians here. But there's part of this that's good for anybody, even if you don't believe in being a Christian or anything like that. So here it is. For it is God who works in you both to will and to do His good pleasure. Do all things without complaining and disputing. Some versions would say arguing. So that one is good for everyone. Do all things without complaining and arguing. You complaining usually leads to arguing, doesn't it? Alright, so let me go farther here. It's that you may become blameless and harmless, children of God without fault, in the midst of a crooked and perverse generation, among whom you shine as lights in the world. Here's what I was talking about is for Christians on that standpoint. Alright, I'm going to jump to this in a moment, but I want to go back to how is that not for Christians too? How is that good, that whole message there? Alright, so for it is God who works in you both to will and to His good pleasure. Okay. Well, that was talking to Christians saying that, you know, God has a purpose for us. Well, God has a purpose for every one of us. Okay, so now saying you're not a Christian, you still have a purpose on your life. Okay, you complaining and whining and arguing is actually going to distract you from your purpose. It's going to take you away. Now, we need more people doing what they are purposed to do. You're going to be happier. Other people are going to learn from you. And we're going to get the best of you. And that's what it could be good for if you're not a Christian, you want to use this. Let's take a little wisdom where wisdom is, right? So, do all things without complaining and disputing or arguing, that you may become blameless and harmless. Okay, so now, if you're complaining and arguing all the time, people are going to look for your faults really hard, aren't they? We all have faults. I know it says blameless and harmless. Okay, so people are like not going to blame you for everything if you don't always complain. I mean, you got to disagree at times, but can we do it in a better manner than complaining and arguing? Yes, we can. And they call you harmless. Why are you harmless? Because you're not trying to pick a fight. If people are more comfortable to come to you or talk to you about stuff, you know, they're going to find you harmless. Think about it. If I'm complaining and arguing all the time, they're not going to be comfortable to come near you. This is where it's good for everybody. Doesn't matter if you're Christian or not Christian. You know? But here's the part that's definitely for Christians right here is children of God without fault, in the midst of a crooked and perverse generation, among whom you shine as lights in the world. Right there is whom you shine as lights in the world. See, as Christian believers, right, what God's telling us in the Bible all the time is basically you are the light of the world. If there are not a lot of Christians are using that light. They just put that light out. That's why a lot of Christianity kind of gets a bad rap because a lot of people are doing it wrong. You know, Christian means little Christ. It means to be like Christ, right? And if you're not like Christ, you know, you're sending a bad message. Now you become blameless, you become harmful to others. You know, and that's not good. Even if someone doesn't agree with you or your faith, why are you going to be jumping on them? So we're in a place where right is wrong and wrong is right. That's how it's becoming now, isn't it? I mean, you don't have to be a Christian to agree with that. That's how it's becoming, isn't it? So I just wanted to share that with you guys. And check out for when I'm doing my leadership principles, or that's what I used to call it. But check it out when I'm doing those principles for greater influence. That's probably what I'm going to do is 12 principles for greater influence. Number 1, don't be a complainer. I'm going to do teaching on that on this channel, and then I'm also doing it on my other channel, Shorty1197. There are many different ones. This channel is going to be more biblical based. The other channel is going to be just wisdom. I'm not going to throw all kinds of scripture into that one. I'm going to use wisdom all over the world, wherever I can find that's matching those principles. So I want to reach people where they are, not saying, well, you have to be a Christian. No. So that's why I would like to share that scripture like I did and open up a little bit more, because I don't want to be one-sided. I don't want to be one-minded and say, hey, well, you know what, you're not a Christian, so you shouldn't hear this. No, come on, everybody could hear this. Wisdom is wisdom, right? Do I agree with that? If you haven't, here's where you guys can be wise. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Come on, subscribe. Oh. Just mess with you. All right, God bless you.